Come here to pioneer. I bring the light to the deepest secrets of different bills. Hey, don't condemn me, you need it, I got it listed here. You wanna make it, I'll show you just how to make it here. I got all the rarest bills, and I ain't done yet. Went from the finish to making bills like a prospect. Flow space and slashes to catching us with a lot of threat. You keep the medals cause the round was coming up next. Only scratch the surface, still they try to drag my...
Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is your man, Uncle Demi, and today I have another special banger for you. Right now, before we get into this video, go ahead and drop that like. If you haven't already subbed to the channel, man, please go ahead and hit that sub button, man. And also, I do have membership opportunities. All you have to do is just look at the link in the description or just head to my channel, hit the join button, and of course, I have 3 different tiers. You can see the different perks that come with each one, which will obviously benefit you if you join. All right, so let's go ahead and get right into this video. As you can tell by the thumbnail, we're going to talk about the one and only Jimmy Butler. And man, there is so much to talk about this guy, but I'm gonna keep it really short and brief because Jimmy Butler's a very interesting guy, needless to say, right? He came into the league with no fanfare. I mean, he just was like, hey, first round 30th pick. His first couple of seasons with the Bulls, it wasn't really anything great about him. But one thing about Jimmy Butler is that he was an extremely hard worker, and he played with Tagliabue. Am I saying that right? And they just had like that perfect love at first sight type relationship, I guess, for a player and a coach, because he just started to grow into one of the best defensive two-way players in the league. He slowly but surely started to be that Robin to Derrick Rose, and they just played really well together, man. Him with Joakim Noah, they had a really good run with the Chicago Bulls as being one of the top teams in the East. Of course, they had one little issue, and that was LeBron James. But outside of that, they were very successful, and Jimmy Butler had that same Mamba mentality, Michael Jordan type mentality, Russell Westbrook, some of the great players in the league, to where, yes, there's a lot of like, man, he's very hard to play with. He's very tough to play with, he's very demanding. And obviously that rubbed a lot of his teammates the wrong way. And of course, it caused him to go to Minnesota, which of course, Minnesota being a very young team, he just chewed and spit them up. They were just, a bunch of young kids, and he was just like, listen, I'm not having it. Like, we either going to do it this way, go hard, try to win, obviously play to win championships. Whereas, Cat and Andrew Wiggins, they were kind of, from one, this is not from my mouth, but from Jimmy Butler, they just weren't hard workers, right? And I remember that interview, Jimmy was like, hey, Cat has more talent than any other player on the team. Andrew Wiggins is physically gifted, the most physically gifted player on the team. And then, of course, he said, but obviously, that doesn't translate to wins. And he said that there shouldn't be any excuses. It was a really good interview when he called out his teammates, which, of course, then led to him being traded to the 76ers. And once again, there's no doubting his talent because everywhere he goes, they win. And obviously with the Sixers, if it wasn't for Kawhi Leonard and that clutch shot in the corner, who knows? It could have been the 76ers in the NBA championship. And who knows what could have happened then? Different team. Maybe Klay Thompson doesn't get hurt. Like everything kind of just is one little thing after another that can lead to that moment. But maybe the Sixers would have been the team that would have won. But who knows? Maybe KD didn't have to come back. So there's just a lot of factors in that. Like if you really think back deep on it, of what could have happened with that. But with Jimmy Butler, now he's with the Miami Heat, and I'm not gonna lie, I was one of the biggest critics on Jimmy Butler for him going to the Miami Heat instead of re-signing with the Sixers or going to the Lakers with LeBron James and AD. I was like, man, this dude doesn't make any sense. Like, why is he going to the Heat? The Heat don't have nobody. The Heat ain't gonna be good, blah, blah, blah. And I'm pretty sure he shut everybody up, including myself, because I am blown away. I'm shocked at how well the Miami Heat are doing right now. And with the people that they have around them, like it's mind-boggling to see how good they're doing. And of course, they're being led by Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler, as usual, is being a GOAT He's definitely MVP candidate. He is carrying this team on his back, and it's very refreshing to see a player choosing their own path, not joining up with other superstars, and being able to still be successful, right? So Jimmy Butler, obviously this will now make him his he's a 5-time All-Star. So this year he's a 5-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA player. He's 4-time All-Defensive Team member, and of course he won the Most Improved Player in 2015. That was his breakout season. So let's go ahead and look more into Jimmy Butler, at his attributes. He's a two-way slasher, and as you can see right here, offensively he's not that strong, which I don't understand why his numbers don't jump out. He does have an 80 driving dunk. His mid-range is only 68. His three-point shots are 74. Post fades are 75. Everything's just got like average offensively. Ball handling's an 84. That's actually pretty good, to be honest with you. That's not bad. And then of course defensively, a 91 perimeter defense, a 90 steal. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, lateral quickness is a 90, so that's not bad. Defensive consistency is a 90. So as you can see here, man, he's an 89 overall. I'm still trying to figure out where it's coming from, but offensively, there's nothing that jumps out. Very average shooting, right? Driving dunk, he can't even get contact dunks. But what makes Jimmy Butler is just his relentlessness, his work ethic, how hard he plays. And sometimes that doesn't translate with the ratings. But as you can see, at 89 overall, he definitely is a high rating. When it comes to badges, it's kind of the same thing. Nothing's really going to jump out. A lot of bronze and silver. The shooting badges, nothing really jumps out on that, right? Playmaking, he does have Bell out. He has Space Creator. Like I said, everything's middle road until you get to the defense. And then of course, that's where you start to see a lot of the gold badges. And again, I really like Jimmy Butler. I think Jimmy Butler is another rendition of like as far as mindset of Kobe Bryant. Like he definitely like symbolizes what you call like that Mamba mentality, where he literally would do anything and he would sacrifice a lot to just win games, and that's all he cares about is winning games. He could care less about the box score. This is like, again, this is a old school type player, and a very special player, and he's one of my favorite players, right? So what we're going to do is this, man. We're going to head over to the My Player Builder. We're going to try to make a two-way slasher and see if we can get Jimmy Butler, all right? So let's head over there real quick. All right, so as you know, Jimmy Butler is a shooting guard. He's right-handed. He's number 22. Let's head over here. So what the pie chart that I'm using to make a two-way slasher, I'm going to go with, of course, the defense and the playmaking. And if you really look at it, man, the driving dunk 87, mid-range three-point shot, all the kind of middle roll, ball handling 85, defense, it can get to the potential to be a high 90, low 90s, high 80s. So this is a perfect pie chart, and it definitely symbolizes what Jimmy Butler ratings looked like when we were just previously on the his player screen. So we're going to go with that one. And then obviously here, we're going to go with the well-balanced. Now, the reason why I'm going well-balanced is because I want to add a little more strength. So usually I would go here, right? Which sounds great, but Jimmy Butler is not necessarily a speedster, doesn't have no crazy vert, but what he does have is strength. He's an old school player. He wants to beat you up. He just wants to he's a very physical player. So that's why we're going to go with this physical profile here, right? And then what we're going to do here is we're going to max out the close shot. We're going to max out driving layup and the driving dunk, okay? And then we're going to go 41 right here, and that's going to give you exactly 12, okay? Then, of course, we're going to max out all this and the free throws, and then the post fade, we're going to get to a 70. Usually I'll lower the free throw, but again, we're trying to make the best Jimmy Butler build possible. So his post fade wasn't high, so I just try to drop down the post fade to really try to get this name. And then of course for the pass accuracy, 75. The ball handling, he does have an 83. So I wanted to try to get that ball handling. That would give us 13. And then of course here, you know, Jimmy Butler is, just like I said, he's well-rounded. So you want to put 10 on, you want to go 56 here. You want to max out your perimeter, your lateral quickness, your steals, your blocks, and then you want to leave the remaining to get 60 on your defensive rebound. So as you can see, the stack is 12, 10, 13, and 17. That is extremely good when it comes to badge upgrades. So I'm extremely happy about that. But then again, this pie chart is, again, one of the best pie charts on the game. If you want to get a ton of badges and to be well-rounded, this is the pie chart you want to go with. And of course, a lot of the best well-rounded player builds on the game, you will be able to make out of this pie chart. I've said that numerous times, right? Now, before we get into the attributes, let's go ahead and look at the actual physical profile. As you can see, his speed will be a 96, which is crazy. He'll have a 95 vert, he'll have a 94 acceleration, and then what I'm really excited about, an 82 strength. Okay, so this is going to be a really brute, physical two-way slasher, right? Somebody that can literally get to the basket, that can dribble, that can play really good defense. And the more and more I talk about it, when I was making this video, I was like, man, I really like this build. Okay, now when we talk about the attributes for his body type, you want to go you can go build, but I think that he'll be more defined. But you know, you can go build. Obviously he's 6'6" and some change, so you can go 6'6" or 6'7". You want to drop him down to 199. And the reason why I want to go 199, I know he's heavier. I think he's 220 some pounds, but I want to go 199 because I want him a lot of quickness just to get to 80. All right, and as you can see, what that did is it upped my acceleration and my vert. My strength did drop a little bit, but again, I wanted to get that lateral quickness as high as I could. So I went it just to get a +1, just to get to 80, all right? Then for your wingspan, you want to keep it the same, all right? So what does that mean? That means that you'll have an 84 ball handle, which it means, of course, when you have a 95 speed, that's going to let you be able to speed boost with this build. Another cool thing is you will be able to have contact dunks. I know Jimmy Butler had an 80. This right here is an 84, so you will be able to get contact dunks with Jimmy Butler. So that's dope. You also will have an 86 steal, you have an 85 block, you have an 84 ladder quickness, you have an 86 perimeter defense. So defensively, you're going to be solid. And then when it comes to your shooting, you have a 73 point shot, and then you have a 76 mid-range shot. So of course, you cannot complain about that. You're going to be very well rounded in a solid build, and you can definitely use this at the 2 spot. And believe it or not, you can actually use this too as a primary ball handler because you do have a high ball control. And if you really know much about Jimmy Butler, he does play the point sometimes as a point forward. He does take the ball up. Again, he bounces around between the point guard, shooting guard, small forward positions. He just does a lot. Okay, now here, of course, you can go with slashing, but I think Jimmy Butler is definitely known for his defense. So I'm gonna go with the lockdown takeover, right? And there you have it, a two-way slasher. And as you can see, it says similar to Jimmy Butler, right? So I'm really excited to be able to get both matches here. Now let's go ahead and test the build out. Let's go ahead and try to get him to 99. And then let's talk about some badges that we can give him to make him really competitive, right? So let's go ahead and get this guy to 99 real quick. All right. Okay, so then what we want to do here, you definitely want to get your contact finishers. That's important, right? You want to get your consistent finisher. Again, that's another good badge. Fancy footwork, of course. And then what you can either do is go with Giant Slayer or with Acrobat. But to me, I just think Giant Slayer is just a really OP badge. Plus 2K Labs already put it out there that it was an OP badge. I know Jimmy Butler had gold teardrop, but to be honest with you, if you want to do that, go ahead. Me personally, I don't do teardrops. So if you want to really make his build, then of course you have to go ahead and put teardrop on gold, but I'm not doing that. All right, so we're gonna leave it like this, but it's your build. You can do any way you want. Say it numerous times. Here you want to get your quick draw on gold. Of course, you want to get your range extender. You have to get that range extender, and then you want to get your hot zone hunter. That's very important. These are like critical. Hot zone hunter, once you get your hot zones, and then of course maybe you want to go just catch and shoot. By all means, you can. If you want to kind of drop this down here and go like that, you can too. But to really try to get those 3-point shots, I'm gonna go with gold. But again, it's your build. Do it any way you want to. But that's what I would go with. Okay. And then of course here, definitely want to go with handles for days. You want to go with your quick first step. Those are must. Right. You want to get your bell out on bronze because obviously bell out on bronze is really dope. Really OP. So that's something that I feel like is great. Last but not least, it really comes down to this. With the Jimmy Butler build, if you're going to be playing as a lockdown, then I always recommend getting floor general in Hall of Fame, because by getting floor general in Hall of Fame, you really help out everybody else in your team when you're standing corner, and the only thing your job is to play defense. So obviously you want to do that. You don't need to get handles for days if you're going to be playing the off ball, meaning you're not going to be doing a ton of dribbling. Or if you want to do that, maybe you can drop it down to silver or bronze or whatever. Maybe silver would just be good enough, because you're not going to be, like I said, it's not going to be your primary duty is to handle the ball. And then with your last two, you can go with maybe Space Creator. You want to put it on pluckable, tight handles, ankle breaker, really doesn't matter. It's really your call. But for me, I'm going needle threader, playing in the corner. This just helps out a lot, just passing the ball. Again, you're the lockdown. We want to try to play the best way we can as far as being playing the lockdown, and you're playing in the corner on offense. So again, I'm really big on utilizing badges based upon your play style. You hear me say this all the time in my videos. It's nice to have certain badges, but put the badges that you're going to utilize the most. So this is what I would go with, all right? And then, of course, defensively, you want to go with Clamps Hall of Fame. You want to go Intimidator. You want to go with Pick Dodger, okay? Those are must-have. I'm not really big on the pickpocket, but I like to go Interceptor. Then maybe we can go Pickpocket on silver, and then Tireless Defender on silver. So I prefer Tireless Defender a lot. I like Interceptor. Pickpocket, again, like I said, maybe we can go like that. I'm not really big on Pickpocket because I just see so many people get steals without it. And I know some people's like, oh, you know, having Pickpocket Hall of Fame, they see a difference. Well, for me, I have Pickpocket on Hall of Fame. I have a lot of lockdowns, and I just don't see the difference. I feel like I get just the same amount of steals with it and without it. So it's really your call. But there you have it, my nephews and nieces. This is a Jimmy Butler build. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please drop a like. Sub to the channel if you haven't already subbed to the channel. And of course, look at the membership opportunities. But other than that, this is your man, Uncle Demi. I'll be back really, really soon with another banger. And you know, when I say I'll be back soon with another banger, you know what day I'm talking about. I'm talking about tomorrow, man. I'm out.
Yeah. Rare form, yeah.